How did every animal get the 2 eyes part right? Spiders have 8 though. I was called 4 eyes at school, because way in the past some critter ended up evolving with 2 eyes and was wildly successful, and all critters currently alive with 2 eyes were ultimately descended from them. Convergent evolution is a thing. It might not be all, but it's at least almost all. Speaking in absolutes about biology is a sucker's game. Bilateralism. Time for you to look up the parental. I think that's the word eye of some lizards. Google Tuatara and it'll definitely be in its wiki. The other thing the other comments aren't mentioning is that even before evolving eyes, a lot of animals already had bilateral symmetry, where they grow duplicates of features on either side of the body, mirrored down the middle. Things like growing a fin on each side, or even just muscles and support structures for moving a tail back and forth. Growing them symmetrically has advantages. So, that makes it easier for new features to develop in pairs already. If any random mutations cause the development or modification of some feature, it'll just automatically happen on both sides of the body. Like when people have a mutation that gives them webbed toes or something, it typically doesn't just happen to one foot and not the other. All that said, there also was a centered single eye structure on the top of the head that was lost in mammal evolution, but is still around in some other animals. It is more of just a general light-dark sensor, not anything as advanced as other eyes, but for something like a bottom-dwelling fish or something, just having a simple light sensor could be useful and not need to be paired for binocular vision. https://n.wikipedia.org Wikiparietalite. Shortest way to have 3-dimensional vision. Some animals have more than 2 eyes to be fair, but yeah, it is very interesting the majority settled on 2, especially mammals. They don't all have 2 eyes, many have more. But vertebrates have 2 eyes, because the distant ancestor of all vertebrates had 2 eyes. Not every animal has only 2 eyes. Depth perception and wider field of view are both huge advantages, so there would be selective pressures to make animals with multiple eyes more successful than animals with a single eye. See Anabulbs for some foresight. Some reptiles have 3, spiders have 8, some insects have compound eyes that are kinda like having hundreds. Every animal didn't get the 2 eyes thing. Better question is, how come we always have holes in skins where the eyes are? Imagine a cat. Fur holes are always where the eye should be, just in the right place. Magic. With 1 eye you don't have binocular vision or a large field of view. 2 eyes increases your field of view and allows you to see depth. With more than 2 eyes, the cost-to-benefit ratio diminishes. Eyes are a very complex organ that require a lot of processing power for the brain to operate. The more eyes you add, the more energy you're expending on vision that you don't really need to be expending. Ask yourself, why don't you see any cyclops around? Probably a common 2-eyed ancestor. A common ancestor of basically everything develops its body in 2 parts. This is why we have 2 copies of most organs: eye, ears, hands, or one made out of 2 copies we stick together: brain, heart, nose. So in addition to all the advantages of 2 eyes, it's not simpler to have 1 eye. This also explains why creatures with more eyes often have an even number. Dogs have like 3,